What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. Woo! Forgot my charger. Had to run down like 3 flights of stairs in time of that intro. What's good, everyone? How's everyone doing tonight? So we got Slim Pickens. What up, homie? I gave you that mod, brother. Jazza, JB Leezy 38, Tommy Brinkley. What's good? Dr. Green Thumb, get Baker a bus ticket to Tampa for OJ Howard. Not a bad idea, bro. Powerhouse, what's good? Andre V, what's good? Rhino, what's good, homie? Daniel, Justin's Pro Football, what's good? Matthew Madison. What's good, everyone? How's your night going? Yo, this ain't going to be like an uberly long video. This ain't going to be a 2-hour marathon, guys. This is basically going to be the film analysis itself. It's going to be about 20 minutes. So basically, we're going to talk about a few things. What's good, Infinite Trauma? What's good, Yawa Bola? We'll talk about a few things regarding Jerome Baker. Then I'll go into it. I wanted to get this out, so it had a few days to simmer before we came and did our Friday show. And just another heads up, guys. You know, it's going to be pretty hit or miss with EM for the next month or so just because of his work schedule. But he will be around a lot starting in probably mid-November and on. But just for the next little bit, bear with us. You're probably going to see a lot more me than him. So just bear with it. I know the haters love it. Joey Rodriguez, I think we would do a better job defensively against the Seahawks than the Cowboys. The Seahawks worry me, bro. I never said I was worried about our offense. I said I was worried about their offense. And, that's an offense that can put up 40, 45 at will, I think, if they really want to, right? So you just got to be careful of that. They're scary good, man. There's a lot of talk right now who the best player in the world is again, like it was early on in last season. Is it Patrick Mahomes or is it Russell Wilson right now? Russell Wilson is phenomenal. Jason, I don't mind the Jamar Chase, but I'm just not down with the Gregory Rousseau. I've gone over that multiple times on this channel. No, that doesn't. I think you mean Kiko Alonso, JJ. That doesn't make you a bad Dolphins fan. I mean, Kiko had his serious flaws as well. I just don't, I don't get the infatuation. I get Jerome Baker is a really good person. I get that. This is not about Jerome Baker, the person. This is about Jerome Baker, the player. And, this is going to be basically, guys, the first 2 weeks. Because if you paid attention to week 3, and the All-22 has been out for a while now, he was way more out wide. You know what I mean? They weren't, they were lining him up on the line of scrimmage more out wide. He wasn't really used in the interior. He was, but he wasn't used as prevalently as he was in the first 2 weeks. In the first 2 weeks, it was a lot of him and Landon Roberts. And then in the second week, in the first week, and then Gruger Hill came in after the Landon Roberts injury. And then in the second week in the All-22, you saw Kyle Van Noy starting to get more snaps in the middle. And then week 3, I would say the majority of the snaps in the middle were Landon Roberts because he was back, Kamal Gruger Hill, and then Kyle Van Noy was in the middle more than he had been in the first 2 weeks. So, we're going to go over, man. This, guys, this is a 20-minute video, and it took me a couple hours to clip together just because of highlighting the players and stuff like that. So, basically how it's going to work is in the run defense, I'm just going to highlight him and the oncoming blocker. We'll go over that. But then for pass coverage, I'll identify, the defensive formation, what the coverage, whether it's nickel, dime, whatever. If it's cover 1, man, zone, whatever, we'll identify that. And yeah, we'll go over a couple of those. There's about, and I had to turn away clips, guys. I want you to realize this. I had to turn clips away. That's how bad this was. All right. Like I got 11 clips in the run. So no one out there who hates on us and our stance can sit there and say, oh, they cherry picked. And it's crazy. And I had to turn plays away. I could have gone for about 15, 16 really good ones if I wanted to. just in the run over 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. Pass coverage, I think I've got about 6 or 7 examples. The one thing you will notice too, if you have gone back and watched the All-22, or if you have rewatched the games multiple times, the Bills didn't target Baker and game plan against Baker, especially in the run, because they didn't really need to run the ball as much as the Patriots did in week 1. Like, you could tell in week 1 when you go back and you watch the film, they were targeting Baker for sure. That middle, they knew between him and Roberts, it was going to be gaping at times. So he was targeted. Week 2, here's the thing. Week 2, they didn't target him much, but whenever they targeted him, they got something out of it for the majority. So you don't like to see that. Give me one sec here, guys. So, I mean, not very good. Not very good at all. Yeah, he did get toasted by Cam. Green Thumb, bro. I'm going to show you guys a clip that I can arguably say is probably one of the worst over pursuits I've ever seen in my time of watching film. And it's on Jerome Baker. Nico, I agree. He plays better on the outside, but really he plays better on the edge standing up when they want to blitz. Other than that, I don't see what the use is for him. I really don't. He is a 4-3 wide 9 Will or Sam linebacker. That's what he is. He's not a Mike. And we'll go over that. So, yeah, Nico, people aren't talking about that enough. And I wasn't going to turn this into a 30, 40-minute video I was making. The thing was already 2.5 gigs just at 20 minutes, basically. But the Jacksonville game, again, I'm going to show you the evidence. Now, all you guys got to do is go back and watch the Jacksonville game, see how differently he's used, and see how more successful we were. James Robinson got his yards. We literally bent, but we didn't break at all. And it was, and he didn't see the majority of the inside. Kyle Van Noy was predominantly using the inside, as well as Gruger Hill and Landon Roberts, like I said. So you're going to see it tonight, man. And guys, I'm going to try and get this done before y'all hit that tip off for the Heat game. I'm just basically biding some time till people get in here. But yeah, I'm doing this early because I don't want y'all to, and shout out to EM Dolphin fan. So yeah, y'all going to probably enjoy this. It's literally, I agree, Jay Bleezy, but it's this whole, see, here's where we're getting the arrogance thing. Here's where we get into the ego. Here's what we've talked about. Me and Ian, I've talked about this privately. I've said this up here for all y'all to hear. It's one thing to convert a corner to safety because you're basically lessening the responsibilities, but there's a lot of similarities. Totally different to move a 4-3 wide 9 outside linebacker into a 3-4 Mike. Because I don't think his football aptitude, I don't think his football IQ is where it needs to be. You see a couple times he's miscommunicating on the field. So, he's being used wrong because he's not right for the system. And here's my problem. Even when they use him as a will, right? Why are you using like a guy like that as a will? You're using a guy like that in the will because of the athleticism and speed and his ability to drop quickly back into coverage and, do something if he makes the read. Here's the problem. The guy's making the reads too slow. He's getting caught flat-footed, and sometimes he's not even dropping back into coverage. And he's not doing his job. So, we'll get into that in a sec here. So that's my whole issue with this experiment needs to be wrapped. And I'll get into some analytics at the end of it here, but like before we sign off after I do the film, it's about 18, 19 minutes. But it's over. And you saw in Jacksonville why. And I'm about to show you all the film. And it's actually worked out perfectly for me because now I'm going to show you guys the evidence of why he isn't an interior linebacker in a 3-4. Then all of you, whether you want to watch the broadcast or the All-22, don't even go back and watch week 1 and 2. Go back, watch week 3 and see how he was used. And you're going to see the differences. So, yeah, he's a lot. Dude, you don't understand, man. I got everything we've said about, even I managed to find a clip of his inability to play in traffic after a lineman disengaged him, and then he gets taken right back out of the play by a tight end just moving upfield. So you're going to see it all, man. And you're going to see how a disaster, You're going to see how big of a disaster he is in coverage. Landon Roberts, too. He made a few appearances just because he was making the wrong reads, too. And they were both, going to the sideline for Gatorade. And I don't know what they were doing. So, yeah, Jason, I agree. No, he's very athletic. I'll give a Baker this. Very effective when you blitz him standing up off the edge. His pursuit speed, his ability, his close down speed is very, very good. He's very, very fast. I just don't think he has the aptitude or he's where he needs to be, one of the two, for what they're asking him to do right now. And it showed up in the first 2 weeks and we got gashed. And he was right in the middle of it. Right. So I'm not hating. I'm just stating, this isn't a witch hunt, because my next film analysis is actually going to be a positive one with a positive outlook, about a player that's successful right now. So coup de grace. All right, so I'm going to get into this in about 2.5 minutes. Y'all got any questions you want to ask, get them in right now. We'll be back Friday night. Friday's going to be a big day because Friday night we'll be out there. We'll be doing the, I don't know yet if EM's going to be joining me, but we'll be doing the pregame, basically the preview show. And earlier in the day, the first episode of my new podcast with Richmond Webb and Mr. Ballgame should be coming out Friday because we will be recording it tomorrow night. So be out on the lookout for that. Box breaks. I don't know, man. That Beagle injury hurt things. I mean, you could use Van Ginkel more in the middle. I think Van Ginkel is a smarter player. I think he's a better player. I also think he's a game changer at times. I've talked about this. The thing that I love about that kid is he's got that rare ability where, he can make plays from that position, and not a lot of people can from that, So Van Ginkel, I mean, I don't know. That's probably. Do I see us blitzing the hell out of Russell? I would test him early with 6 men, 6 men on the line of scrimmage, see what they got, see how that offensive line can hold up, and then make your adjustments accordingly. It's not a team you need to stack 8 in the box against, really, especially I don't know what the deal is right now with Chris Carson's ligament injury in his leg. I know he got a sprain or a strain, right? Who do I prefer, Perry or Needham in the nickel? Man, I'm a Needham guy. Perry, he's all right. He's all right. Watching the All-22, I've seen him make some good plays. I've seen him make some bonehead plays, but I could say the same for Needham right now for how his season's gone. Troy Hicks, does Banker rank up against our other linebackers? Man, I think he's the most overrated of the bunch. Put it that way, by far. I would have traded Baker. I wouldn't have traded Raekwon. What's the difference between the 2019? Not much. Now, if you want to go back to the 2018 Baker when we were in a 4-3 wide 9, okay, the 2018 Baker is different than what we're getting right now for sure because he was a scheme fit. No, I haven't heard anything on Adams, man. I got him in fantasy too. Who do I got in the finals? I got to go Braun, bro. To me, if the Heat win, that's the better story, but I can't bet against Braun. But hey, if the Heat got it, all the power to them. All right, let's get into this, guys. All right, so I'm going to full screen it. Y'all are basically just going to hear my voice. We'll roll like that, guys. And I'm going to be playing it directly from QuickTime. So we'll go right into it. Let's get rid of this. See y'all soon, everyone. All right, guys. As you can see, we're going to start off with Jerome Baker's ability or lack thereof in run defense, guys. So, y'all ready, man? And y'all are going to see why exactly over here. This is the saying on this channel. It's all 22 or nothing, baby. I don't want to see no game highlights, no game clips. I don't want to see none of that. It's all 22 or nothing over here, boys and ladies. All right, so we're gonna get in. We're gonna slim pickings before I get into this because I'm a little bit too brash. I'm a little bit too brash for some people's taste, I would assume. All right, so let's get into this, guys. So the first play is we're going to start off with the Patriots game. We're going to go in sequence. All right. So right here, and I'm going to identify it for you. Y'all are going to see it. There's Tooney right there, the left guard, who we almost signed as I just boxed Jerome Baker. And what you're going to see is Tooney's going to pull to the right A gap right there. And he's just going to take Baker out of the play instantly with perfect hand placement on the pads, as Baker has one of the worst over pursuits I've ever seen on a play action. Now, this is the same play from a different angle. I'm going to highlight both of them for you guys again. So Tooney, again, is the left guard. He's lined up next to the center who is snapping the ball. All right. Jerome Baker, there you go, is boxed. There is Tooney with the arrow over his head. Now, guys, I want you to watch Cam Newton and how well he sells this fake. He's going to put it all the way in the chest. And I want you to watch Jerome Baker. I want you to watch how far he goes over to the left. And I want you guys to watch his head. His head is going to tell you guys the story of how late he realizes it was a play action. Watch. His head is up. He is watching the running back. He gets engaged by Tooney. The head is still on the running back, guys. And Newton's already 5 yards up the play. And now Baker has realized that it is a run play up the middle. And good God almighty, if that's not one of the worst over pursuits any of you have ever seen in your entire lifetime, I don't know what to tell you. So the next play here, we got Jermaine Illimore. He helps on the double team with the chip block on Raekwon you just saw there. And right up the middle, the running back hits. And that's because we're going to watch it here again on the slow motion right here. I want you guys to watch what Illimore does after he does the chip block on Raekwon. What you're going to see is he's going to disengage. He's going to step into the running lane, and he's going to engage Baker head on, taking him all the way off to the side and out of the running lane. And thus, the play is for a huge chunk right here. Boom. Engages. Good night. You're out of the play. You're stood up. You're off to the side. The run play again up to the middle, attacking where Jerome Baker is. They're not afraid. And guys, these were two of the first three plays of the game. And right here, play 3, you're going to see Dave Andrews is going to snap the ball. He's going to head for the second level, and Baker's going to meet him halfway. They engage, and once again, Andrews' hand placement, just like Tooney, is perfect. Just like Tooney is perfect. And you're going to see it right here from the other angle when we take it here, guys. I want you to pay attention to the hands of David Andrews because they're just perfect, just like Joe Tooney was a couple plays before. So I want you guys to watch. I've just highlighted them. So Baker can't shed the block. He gets away with a hand on the face mask. And look at the end. The tackle falls at his feet as he stood up for the most part. And look at how many yards it is beyond the line of scrimmage. So when we say Baker's disengaging, I'm going to pause it right here, guys. When we say Baker's disengaging, right? When we say Baker is disengaging and moving backwards and making the tackle, I'm not lying to you. That's a lot easier than trying to get through the block and getting in pursuit and making the play. All right, let's keep it going here. We got run play 4, guys. What you're going to see right here, who I've highlighted, is Jacob Johnson out of the backfield. They've got him lined up as the fullback. And there you go. You do see Jerome Baker as the will right now. He's on the weak side, guys. And there you go. He made the right read. I'll give Baker that much. He made the right read. But look at what you see from this angle, guys, because you're going to see Jacob Johnson 2 plays in a row, and you're not going to like what you see here. So he pulls over to the left and clears out Baker with no problem. You're going to see this right here. I want you to watch Baker, guy. Watch his hands. Baker isn't even going to have his hands up ready to engage the block. Look at that. His hands are down at his side. Baker's taken out of the play with ease and didn't even have his feet set to stabilize his base. And that's why you saw his left foot come off the turf so high, guys. These are fundamentals, guys. This isn't even about being a Mike or a Will. That's just fundamentally bad football from Jerome Baker. Again, Jacob Johnson lined up in a power I formation right now as that fullback. And there you go. You got Jerome Baker again as that Will. And again, Jacob Johnson engages and takes him up. But again, that's the high foot. Watch what you're going to see right here, guys, from the back footage. I'm going to highlight Jerome right here. I'm going to highlight Jacob Johnson. I want you to watch Baker, guys, because Baker drops his shoulder down to brace for impact, not even looking to make a play with his hands to get through the tackle and into the backfield. Baker is literally just a body on the field in this play. Guys, he dropped his shoulder to embrace impact. That tells you he wanted nothing with full-on engagement with Jacob Johnson. And again, we're going to go over here. I'm going to highlight this for you guys. You're going to see you're going to see Jerome Baker right here, and you're going to see Shaq Mason, who I've highlighted right there. And I want you to watch next to him, David Andrews. What you're going to see is you're going to see Shaq Mason help Andrews clear out Christian Wilkins, who's in the middle there with the double team. I want you guys to watch this. So once he clears him out, he's going to disengage, and then he's going to look to re-engage, and this time with Baker as a run looks like it's going to be bounced outside. All right? And you saw it go a little bit up more towards the middle there. Now what you're going to see here, guys, well, you're going to see here on this other. Instead, you're going to see, watch Mason right here. Watch Mason when he disengages from Christian Wilkinson, guys. And Christian Wilkinson is right over top of him. So I want y'all to watch the disengagement, right? Because he's got Andrews pulling to help him. He disengages, and with one hand, just his right hand, he keeps Baker to the outside, gets his left hand on Baker's back, and keeps Baker to the outside, allowing the runner to cut it back in for a gain. And there's him cutting it back in, and Baker's just getting up to his feet right now, guys. So it's not much of a gain, but it's showing you right now how and Baker's got his hands up in frustration because he knows that was a bad play. So again, I've highlighted Baker right here for you guys, and I want y'all to really pay attention here. So now we got Ryan Izzo lining up as the inline blocker for the New England Patriots on the right side. Again, Jerome Baker's lined up as that Will, and what you're going to so here you're going to see right now. So Ryan Izzo lines up in line. He's going to help Mason with a chip block on Ogba. And then he picks up Baker coming across the middle, and it's over. So let's watch it again from a different angle because I find these other angles, especially for linebackers, are better for the run game. So again, you're going to watch Ryan Izzo line up in line. He's going to help Mason with that chip block on Ogba. Ogba's 91, guys. Then he's going to pick up Baker coming across the middle and watch him stand Baker right up, right there. Just stands him up. Just totally engages, stands him up. And then he starts to disengage, but the runner is already passing by, so Izzo can afford to. And once again, it's a big gain. And once again, it goes right by Jerome Baker's shoulder once he gets over there. So let's get over into the Buffalo Bills game, guys. Let's give you a few examples to show you this is not a freak accident. So what you're going to see here, guys, is Darrell Williams is going to help the right guard with the chip block on Christian Wilkins, and he's going to disengage, and he's going to gauge Baker, who was trying to fill up the run lane, but no bueno, Jerome Baker. And I want you guys, again, to take a look from the second angle because now you're going to see Darrell Williams. I'm going to highlight him right here for you. Jerome Baker is that Mike. There's Darrell Williams, and here you go. He used it, there you go. You see Baker right there. He gets his hand underneath the pads and stands Baker up as Singletary runs by once again for a nice chunk of yardage. So just with ease, guys, he's moved out of run lanes, and he's just a non-factor once the hands are put under the pads. So right here, we're going to go over Baker's lined over the left tackle, Deion Dawkins, who that arrow is over, guys. And it's just straight up power football as Dawkins takes Baker on, and he stands him up. just trying to clear a lane. That's all it is. So check it out here, guys. Boom. Good night. Oh, sorry. No, that's Cody Ford. Wrong play, guys. That's Cody Ford. He's lined up at the right guard there. So what you're going to watch here is he's going to quickly chip Godchaw, and then he sees Baker about to shoot the gap. So he uses one hand to engage and hold Baker off until his second hand can get in there. And watch, he's going to turn Baker. Watch, I want you to watch the end of the play, guys. I want you to watch how. So there you go. There's your chip on Godchaw. Disengages, sees Baker's fill in the run lane, moves him out of there. And look at this, guys. By the end of it, he turns Baker all the way around, so he's facing his own defense, totally out of the play, totally made irrelevant at the wink of an eye. It's not even close, guys. And this is a team who didn't even have to run the ball against us. So right here, you got Baker lined up over the left tackle, Dion Dawkins, and this is just your straight-up power football. I want you to watch this as Dawkins is going to take Baker on. And like you've seen before, he's just going to stand him straight up. Just straight up clears the lane. Good night. Right there. Just pushing him. And that's where you see that extra tight end engage once Baker gets lost in traffic. But it's way too late. I mean, look at the yards gained on that. And let's see this right again. So, Dawkins. You're going to see the arrow come over Dion Dawkins right there, and Baker's lined up right over top of him. And watch, Dawkins is just going to push him back. Then he's going to give him one big push, and that big push gets him lost in traffic after the disengagement. And if you watch Baker, the one big push helps him lose his angle and his balance right there. It's over. He's out of the play. So in terms of making a stop before a big game, and look at, he knows he messed up. That's why he doesn't even though he got a hand on him at the end there, he doesn't even help up with the gang tackle. He just says, what a terrible day at the office. So let's go here, guys. We're going to go into the last running play again. Baker is lined up over Dion Dawkins. And again, he just stands no chance whatsoever. I want you to watch this right here. They got him blitzing off the edge. They got him coming to the backfield off the edge. Nope, just push back. And Dion just keeps pushing him back and gives him one big push that causes Baker to lose his balance and his angle. Again, for a big run play. And you're going to see his balance get lost a little bit more from the second angle we're about to take right now. Right here, guys. I want y'all to watch right here. There is Baker. There's Dion Dawkins. And there it is. Again, Dion Dawkins push. Look at how low Baker's hands are. What are you going to do on that big of a man? And then there's the final push. And that final push just does enough to throw his angle off. And he's out of the play, especially when that wide receiver gets involved there. And there you go, a first down. So, guys, I mean, there you saw for your own self how ineffective that man is at times in the run game, guys. I mean, we're not lying to you. Not lying at all. Yeah, he's fighting dudes that outweigh him 120 pounds, but he's not even making it a contest for them. They're not even having to work. Your elite linebackers, Mikes, make you work. Look at his hands. I showed you multiple examples of terrible hand placement, some where he didn't even have his hands above his hips, and that was with a fullback. So, I mean, that's not good at all. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going with Jerome Baker and pass coverage. I mean, I just want to know what, you don't want to give the lineman credit, but I mean, what's your excuse for 2 plays in a row, him not getting his hands up above his hips and dropping his shoulders on a fullback? There is no excuse. None whatsoever. Terrible play. Terrible play. All right, so let's keep it rolling here with Jerome Baker and pass coverage. So the first play, we're going to go back to the Patriots, and we're going to go. So there you go, guys. I have highlighted Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman's going to come across the middle on a crossing route. We're in a 4-2-5 nickel. They are playing zone. And Baker right now is your will. He's off to the weak side. And I want you guys to watch because this isn't pretty on a Landon Roberts or Jerome Baker. One man has to take that underneath hole, and no one does. And y'all are about to see what I'm talking about right now. Watch the magic, guys. Again, for someone who I'm told play action, they both bite on it, and they both track to the left, totally leaving and vacating the middle wide open for Julian Edelman on that crossing route. And I want to, again, watch their heads, guys. Watch. They're going to recognize Julian Edelman over there, but they're going to keep going. Then they're both going to look back almost in sync. Notice that they both vacated the field, and yeah, it's pretty much a wrap. And because it's zone, what's happening is the outside corner is giving the inside release because he's expecting one of those linebackers to be dropping into the underneath hole. Neither one does. So you got your play action. Both of them bite. Landon put on the brakes a touch quicker. They both look over. They both notice the middle's vacated. Now they realize, oh, crap, we screwed up. And there is Julian Edelman wide open. And Bobby McCain forces the incompletion. And Jerome Baker has the audacity to put his arms up and say, hey, it's an incompletion, when you and Landon Roberts both did an absolute terrible job in coverage there. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. So let's go into play two. So again, you're going to see Baker's lined up in the will. It's 4-2-5 nickel. It's cover one. And Izzo from inline blocking on a crossing route over the middle. And I want you guys to watch. I've highlighted Ryan Izzo again. He's just going to come up over the middle on, again, another crossing route. He's not even going to show engagement. He's just going to come over the middle and let the tape speak for itself, guys. So, Jerome Baker, how do you over pursue mirroring a route? I don't know how, but Jerome Baker found out how. All Izzo had to do was stop on a dime. The coverage was decent, and then he stops on a dime and sends Jerome Baker out to the sideline for a bottle of Gatorade. Again, there's Izzo, there's Jerome Baker. Just going to come across, push off by Ogba. Decent coverage. That's good coverage. And then he just stops up, and it's over. And it's good night. It's a 25-plus yard gain. The coverage was good up until Izzo stopped on a dime and sent Jerome Baker out to get a bottle of Gatorade. You got to be at least a little bit tighter than that, Jerome. So now we've highlighted here. This is going to be Baker again is the will. The defense is in 3-4-4 cover one. Baker is responsible for the underneath hole, and he's going to vacate it because he over pursues the play action. And I want you guys, I've again highlighted Julian Edelman because you're going to see Julian Edelman come over once more on a crossing route, make them pay, and watch the over pursuit on the play action. Boom. See? The hesitation. After he did the front step, he hesitated to drop back into coverage when he should have just dropped back. And that hesitation, look at how big that hesitation cost him. You're going to see it again. Watch. He's going to step up. He's going to drop back, but he's going to hesitate when he starts to drop back. Watch his body. He realizes it's a fake, steps back, gets caught flat-footed, and then he turns, and good night. Again, over the middle because the underneath hole was vacated. Now, I want to stress too, why are they using him as a will in these situations? Well, it's because of his athleticism and his speed. With the will, you want him to be able to drop back into coverage, whereas the Mike is more of a plugger, right? And here's my thing. When they were using him as a mic, whether you got a guy who's 100 pounds heavier than you or 20 pounds heavier than you, when they were using him as a mic, he wasn't plugging the holes. He wasn't even getting to the holes. So, and I've showed whether it was a guard, whether it was a center, whether it was a tackle, whether it was a tight end, whether it was a fullback, it didn't matter. Jerome Baker was having problems shedding tackles, shedding blocks. He just can't. So, right here, guys, this is the fumble where everyone wild out, got all happy and excited. So Baker's, technically he's the mic here, technically. So currently they're in a 2-4-5, a 4-2-5 or 2-4-5, however you want to describe it. And they're in nickel, they're in man. And what you're going to see is Baker once again over pursues on the play action by just a step. And it's a game of inches. He over pursues by just a step, and he allows N'Keal Harry just to create separation coming across the line of scrimmage on a little drag route. So watch. Boom, over pursue a little bit, and then that's what caused that half a yard of separation. Is just that step he made, and now he's just in pursuit. Again, his closing speed, like I highlighted earlier, it's one of his best attributes, and it caused that fumble for the touchback. So, that is one of his best attributes. His athleticism and his speed does lead to awesome closing speed. But again, there you go, N'Keal Harry and Jerome Baker, and he just right there. Just caught him just because his head was still looking in the backfield. And you saw him reaching out because his head was still looking in the backfield. Because he kept that head in the backfield, it's over with. So just that half step creates enough separation, but he does do a great job in over pursuit. But again, that just shows you his over pursuit in the play action, his read and recognition, it's not up to par. So let's keep it rolling here. And what you're going to see here is a little bit of that communication that I was talking about. So I'm going to bring it back here. Right. You're going to see Grugier Hill is using his hands. Now, him and Baker, there seems to be some kind of miscommunication on this play. And you're going to see they get their communication mixed up. So, again, Baker's going to bite huge again on the play action. And I want y'all to watch this. And he's going to realize Knox is releasing off the line of scrimmage. And again, you can watch his head and you can see that happen. Boom. And that's where you see the miscommunication. Now it is an incomplete pass because it's a bad throw by Josh Allen, but y'all saw how wide open he is. So we'll show you from the other. So what you're going to see here, guys, is Baker's going to bite big time on the play action. He's going to realize Knox is releasing off the line of scrimmage and not an inline blocker, but it's too late. Open on the crossing route like the Patriots were getting when they targeted Baker over the middle, but Allen misses the wide open throw. And again, this is 3-4-4 press man. Right there, you saw the miscommunication. One of them, Baker should have dropped back because Grugier was clearly in coverage. But Grugier Hill couldn't keep up with them, I guess, didn't know what the hell was going on. But it looked like Grugier Hill had him off the line. I don't know why Baker went over there. Baker could have just stayed in the middle. He could have spied, or he could just stayed in the underneath hole, and that's it. So, and because, again, they vacate it on a crossing route, we get eaten alive. So this is a pretty bad play. This is up there with all the ones that I saw, and this is the last play of the film study, guys, the film analysis. So what you're going to see here is the defense is in 4-2-5 nickel press man. Baker is going to vacate the underneath hole once more as he follows Van Noy, who he follows Van Noy's man. It's unreal. I want y'all to watch Van Noy. Van Noy is over here. Van Noy's in the middle with him. And, I don't understand what goes on here. So you're going to see he's going to follow Van Noy's man. They're going to communicate pre-snap, and it's clearly talking about who's got who. Van Noy, if you watch his head, he nods and says, okay. And he's clearly saying, I got him. what you're going to see is Baker is all of a sudden going to follow the man as well. And it's going to, once again, a recurring theme in coverage, Jerome Baker is going to vacate the underneath hole. I don't know what this guy's like love affair with doing this is, but watch. He's going to vacate. And this is a passing play, guys. This is why I have it under coverage. But Josh Allen is going to recognize that the whole middle of the field is open, and he's going to run it for a 16-yard gain. So watch. Again, another pretty much bonehead play by Jerome Baker. They're communicating right there. You saw. He pointed him off to take the running back coming out of the backfield. Okay? Now watch Jerome Baker. All right? He starts moving with them. Then he realizes he left the middle of the field. What are you doing, Jerome? And he shakes his head. He can't believe it. Again, we'll highlight it for you. Watch Josh Allen. You're going to see it is a pass play. Watch. Jerome Baker, watch him and Van Noy. He's going to point out the running back, and Van Noy is going to nod his head. And here you go. Van Noy comes off with the man, sees his pass, and Baker's coming over, realizes, oh, crap, I left my responsibility. And he comes back, and, I mean, what are you going to do? 16-yard gain. And once again, Jerome Baker is a complete and utter liability. So, I mean, that's not very good at all. So, when you go and you watch the film of the Jacksonville game, right? You're going to see him used out wide and not on the interior nearly as much, like I said earlier. All you have to do is you can go back. You guys can watch it yourself, right? The interior snaps were given more towards Landon Roberts, all right, Gruger Hill, and Van Noy. Now, y'all want to blame coaching and play calling? No one's denying that the play calling was bad at times, especially in the Buffalo game. Here's the thing. Play calling doesn't result in blown coverages and bonehead plays. Bad play calling does not result in over pursuits consistently in the run game. How many times in those, 17, 18 clips did you see Jerome Baker over pursuing? How many times? Now, you want to blame play calling? Knock yourself out. Fact of the matter is, it's here. It's right in front of your eyes. And it's time to stop making excuses. The play we have got from the interior from him and Landon Roberts in that first game was awful. He was awful again against the Buffalo Bills. The only thing is they didn't need to run the ball as much as the Patriots did because they threw for over 400 yards. They didn't need to go. But I showed you multiple clips again of him being bad in the run game, even against the Bills, who didn't even need to run the ball against us. So, I don't know what else to say. Jerome Baker, yeah, here's the thing. Baker made some poor mistakes. He made a ton of poor decisions. And all I've done is shown you this is why. And ball game, you sat in there in yourself after the second game. I see in the comments, you said this is time, and I quote, I got the receipt. They need to end the Jerome Baker Mike experience. Why did you say that, bro? Because of how poor his play has been when they've used him as a Mike or a Will on an interior, whether it's in the 4-2-5 or the 2-4-5, however you want to shape that up for yourself. Because what happens? In those formations, a Will is in the interior. So, I never said he was the only reason we lost. Again, I don't know where we're. I never said Jerome Baker once was the only reason we lost. Not once. Not ever once. Anyways, like this is where we're getting to the point where now people are arguing film. All right. Now, you can't argue anything that I've shown you. Everything I just showed you, play calling aside, wasn't executed well by Jerome Baker, point blank, period. Excuses don't make wins. Excuses don't make better players. They may make you sleep better at night, but guess what? Excuses go out the window when the film comes on the screen. And Jerome Baker is not an interior Mike or an interior Will in a 4-2-5, in a 3-4, however you want, in a 3-4-4, however you want to line up, right? Because you got so many formations out here where they're basically bringing up the safety as a rover, right? So a rover or a robber. I mean, that's basically how Eric Rowe was used. The majority of his snaps in week 1 and week 2, Eric Rowe was a robber or a rover, leaving McCain single hot. So my whole thing here is when you do that, usually you're moving linebackers up. And if you're going to have Jerome Baker on the interior, you cannot move linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. He is most effective coming off the line of scrimmage, lined up off the edge, blitzing. Other than that, when you start moving him around, he starts becoming a liability in coverage and in the run game. Now, in coverage against New England, all right, Jerome Baker, again, who put up a 31.3 coverage grade, whether you want to like PFF or not. Again, he gave up. He was 3 for 3. He was targeted 3 times. He gave up 3 receptions for 50 yards. He gave up 16.7 yards of reception. The yards after catch was 20 of those 50 were after the catch, and the longest was a 25-yard run. The longest was a 25-yard catch, and he had an NFL passer rating of 118.8 when he was targeted, along with 2 penalties in that game. That's just in coverage. All right. Now, when you go over to the Buffalo game, Jerome Baker wasn't targeted as much in the run game or the pass game, really because they didn't need to. Once Byron Jones came out, it was clear when you watch the film, the focus shifted to Noah Igbenogany, big time. And they were getting good protection. The line was holding up, so they could just sit there and they could slice and dice. And again, you had Jerome Baker. He put up a better coverage grade, but you saw, he was targeted twice. He only allowed 1 reception, but I just showed you guys the other target to Izzo should have been a reception because he was wide open on the crossing route. So Jerome Baker, he only allowed 8 yards in that game, and 7 of them were after the catch. It was just a little dump off, and it should have been more with the Izzo. But, he was better, right? He was only targeted 2 times, though. So, and again, in the run, the sample size wasn't as big as the Patriots game because they didn't have to target him. But when they did, y'all saw it. You know what I mean? I provided. It was the same consistencies that were from week 1 and carried over from last season. You know what the difference is, guys? I just didn't have this channel last season so I could show y'all exactly what we were talking about. So, I love Jerome Baker, the person. I think he's very, very effective on the line of scrimmage, coming off the edge, blitzing. I think he's very effective blitzing. He's not a 3-4 interior, and we traded the wrong guy. It should have been Jerome Baker, not Raekwon McMillan. And that's no knock on Jerome Baker in the sense of he's a terrible player. I don't think Jerome Baker, I think his athleticism, I think his closing speed is fantastic. I just don't think he's a scheme fit. That's it. He's a wide 9, 4-3 outside linebacker. You can will or you can Sam him if you want. Other than that, he's not a Mike. I don't think he's got the aptitude to take on the responsibilities. I don't think he's good enough at engaging and getting through blocks, making blockers work extra hard, right? He's got no bull rush. He's got no swim. He's got nothing going on. What has he got? He's got no moves, to get past that initial engagement. He's basically got to hope the ball carrier gets past that engagement and the guard, tackle, center, or tight end disengages, and then he can go make a play. Other than that, he gets stood up pretty much. And it doesn't matter. Like, again, I've showed y'all. I've given y'all examples of tight ends, fullbacks, guards, centers, and tackles. What's left? Do I got to give you an example of the head coach? I got to give you guys an example of the head coach standing up Jerome Baker and him not being able to shed a Belichick or Sean McDermott block for y'all to understand what we're saying. So, I get it when guys are bigger, it's harder, but make them work. You guys can't sit out there and tell me there aren't end guys and there aren't linebackers who make big, bulky Mauler offensive linemen work their asses off every snap. Jerome Baker doesn't. All right. When you got a guy who's putting his shoulder down and doesn't want a piece, he doesn't want anything to do with the fullback 2 plays in a row, won't even get his hands up above his hips. We got a problem, man. We got a serious problem. If you don't like contact, linebacker and linebacker's the wrong position for you, and football's the wrong sport for you. I don't know what else to say to you. Other than that, it is what it is. I've told y'all how you can use him. That's the most effective way I've seen him used on film. I'll stand by that. And here's another thing, guys. When you're going to keep using your safety, your strong safety in the box as a rover, as a robber, whatever, and you got Bobby McCain back there, that second level better be tighter than a nun's you-know-what. All right? It better be, because you can't afford mistakes at the second level when you got someone back at the third where you don't know what you're getting night in and night out. And that's no knock on McCain, because McCain looked a lot better in week 3 than he did in the first 2 weeks. He looked very good in week 3 compared to the first 2 weeks. I'm just saying, we don't have Earl Thomas back there. Prime Earl Thomas is all I'm sitting here saying. So it's no knock. Oh, no, Baker ain't Ray, and I'm not expecting him to get – Ray could knock one of these guys who's 100 pounds bigger than him on his ass. I'm not expecting that. But here's your thing when you're a Mike, Scotty. Fill the gap. You're a plugger. In the run, if you're the Mike, you're a plugger. You're supposed to plug the holes, plug the gaps. He can't even get there. Bro, I'm not saying toss the guy 5 yards. I'm saying make them work a little bit. And is it too much to ask to see you win at least once in a while? We're not even getting that. We're not even getting winning once in a while. I want you to realize that. I want you to realize we're getting – this man is producing a Joe Philbin-like record at winning run block and pass rush win rates. This man's got like the Joe Philbin DNA when it comes to those, bro. It ain't good. And, I like, dude, again, Jerome Baker's athleticism and speed, can't teach those things, right? Same thing with his closing speed. You can't teach it because it comes with what he has, right? I just think, I saw a play. I didn't put it into this because, again, I turned away plays, guys. I saw a play where Shaq Mason, he used one hand and basically, he did it twice. I showed you guys one example, but he did it again where I believe it was Shaq Mason. He basically kept him to the outside with one hand. It was Shaq Mason. He just nudged. It was another play. He nudged him. He just nudged him and he threw him off balance. And it was just over. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. You can't go off balance like that. You can't have a linebacker playing in a 3-4 as a micro will, and he's afraid of contact. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like that, where can you play in football if you're afraid of contact? Like, where are you going to play? Is Jerome Baker going to give Tua a run for his money at the quarterback position? Because I don't know. Here's what I will say. I will pay money. I will pay good money to watch Jerome Baker in the Tunnel of Love. I don't care if you got the footage. I'll pay for it. I would pay to watch Jerome Baker in a tunnel of love. That's all I gotta say. Exactly, Dr. Green Thumb. A linebacker needs to want that engagement, right? That's why everyone's so high on Micah Parsons. Why? Because, me and Driscoll talked about it. Yeah, there you go, kicker. Yawa. My next film analysis is going to be on Solomon Kinley and why he's been so successful. By the time it comes out, probably through the first 4 weeks. So and it won't be as long. The reason why I made this long, guys, is I know there's people out there in the little fan club like Baker for some reason is like, I'm not going to say that because he's actually giving you something, but people have an infatuation with Jerome Baker, similar to a player that's not on this team anymore. And this was just basically to show you that's over 2 weeks. I gave you 7 plays in coverage, and I gave you 11 plays in run defense over 2 weeks, and I turned plays away. That's not undeniable. That's not cherry picking. This was done because for some reason, when you are critical of players that rock these colors, you've got to be a hater. You've got to have it out for them. No. This is not that video. This is a video telling y'all he's not a fit as an interior linebacker. Basically saying, use him off the edge, use him on the line of scrimmage. Other than that, don't put him back there. That's all that it's saying. That's all I'm going to say. Bro, a 355-pound lineman that you needed to use one hand. Think about that. One hand, bro. And it's something you saw, the same thing you saw from a 200 plus linebacker, fullback that's probably a bit smaller than Jerome Baker. So, that's just it. You can defend him. And I don't know why you're sitting in there defending him when you yourself said, again, the receipt. Got to end the experiment. I just show y'all why to end the experiment. And see, your ball game, I can tell right now you haven't gone back and watched the Jacksonville game. You haven't watched the All-22 ball game. Because if you had, we were right. They didn't use him and line him up the same way in week 3 that they did in the first 2 weeks. Because we were right. And all I was doing is showing everyone why we were right about him and why they made the change and why he's not an interior linebacker. That's it. That's all there is to it. And Flores can love the guy all he wants. Flores apparently loved Josh Rosen. We all saw how that worked out. Didn't work out too well, did it? Because here's the thing. You get to a point where you don't have a use for a guy like that, where you can fill that spot with a guy who's better in your scheme, who works better in this defense, who can make more plays. To be honest with you, Van Ginkel should be getting more snaps than Jerome Baker after what I've seen. And that includes week 3. And that's it. You just have to use them on the line of scrimmage. You can use them off the edge in blitzing situations. That's it. But that's pretty limited for a coaching staff that preaches versatility from every position on both sides of the ball, not named quarterback. That's all I'm going to sit here and say too. So you can be a nice guy. You can love a guy as much as you want, but it gets to a time where it gets to a business decision and it ain't a clubhouse atmosphere. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you all right now. I don't care who anyone on that coaching staff loves. I really don't. Because guess what? Loving players ain't going to win championships. You know what's going to win championships? Getting production from the players on your roster. And here's what happens when you love players. You start to blur that line of you hold on to players a little too long, i.e., they must have loved Kalen Ballage because we all knew last year he was done. So, I don't know if he's not really better in space, Chalk. He's confused at times. He makes the wrong reads. Now, I do agree to you this. You do use his speed when they blitz him off the edge. That's when they use his speed, and that's why he's the most effective there. I will give them that, because that's the only way you can really use his speed. Like, other than, I mean, the only other way you can really use him is what? If there's a reception by a receiver or a running back has made it past the line of scrimmage and you got that closing speed, you got that pursuit speed. Other than that, other than his pursuit speed, off the edge blitzing, and maybe up the middle on the line of scrimmage blitzing, I mean, but again, you're putting him in that middle, right? You're technically putting him back in that middle. I just, you got to look at our defense. Our defense was more effective in week 3 because Van Noy was making a lot more. I agree. It is a mindset shock, and that's why Van Noy, you saw better communication. If you guys go back again, I'm going to keep telling y'all, go back and watch game 3 because it just happened and you got time till game 4 happens. Watch how much better the communication was when Van Noy was in the middle and he was calling it. I mean, you could tell. Look at, I showed y'all a play where Baker basically points out, you're going to take the running back out of the backfield. You see Van Noy shake his head, yes. And then Van Noy follows him out of the backfield, and Baker comes along for the ride, vacates the middle, and Josh Allen runs up the middle seam for 16 yards because he vacated it. So, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I agree, ball game. That could be why Jerome Baker at least makes it through. I don't think they're trading him this season, or they're getting rid of him or cutting bait, whatever you want to say. I don't think he's going to get re-upped for big money. But you're right. Because of how weak ball game, you are 110% right about the pass rush. And I would say that because our pass rush is so weak right now, right? So, yeah, I would agree with that. Keep him in the stable right now. But you know what it showed me, guys, too? It really showed me the plans and how much Vince Beagle is missed. I think they really had plans for Vince Beagle over that middle. And I do think instead of a Landon Roberts, but I think the way it would have played out by now, I think you would have probably see Van Noy, Gruger Hill, and Beagle manning the middle most, and then with Landon Roberts coming in and taking snaps here and there. But I will say to Landon Roberts, I will say this to Landon Roberts, and I agree, Van Noy is a natural Mike. He's probably the smartest player in our linebacker crew. So I agree. Van Noy is. That's why we were saying, ball game, from the rip, Van Noy has to be in the middle. Don't play him off the edge in this defense, especially for the communication purposes, right? But I will say this. I want to give Landon Roberts some props because Landon Roberts, he looked terrible in week 1. But in week 3, Landon Roberts did look much, much better. He had a very, very rough first quarter. No denying that. But his second, his third, and fourth quarter, I want to give a kudos to Landon Roberts because you did turn your game around big time in the second, third, and fourth. So I got to give you some props for that. You played a lot better, and I think that's just because of how good Van Noy was operating out of the mic. Ball game. I started the film analysis about 15 minutes in. So if you go back to 15 minutes, you'll see I started at the first 10, 11 minutes of that. So from 15 to 26, 27 minutes is all run. Ooh, good point, Wallace Johnson. Double standard from where I'm sitting. When McMillan made mistakes, he heard it from the coaches. He was benched, but for some odd reason, Baker can screw up on a regular and mum's the word. Just saying. See, I would have agreed with you, Wallace, until I watched the week 3 game film. Go back, Wallace. You're going to see they took snaps away from Baker in that middle, and they let him know, hey, it ain't working out. And kudos to EM Dolphin fan told everyone, including me, by week 3, you're going to see that experiment probably go out the window. And like white on rice, it was there. Week 3, you saw him losing snaps. I agree, ball game. Van Noy, I think, was looking better. Like Van Noy, I've seen progression. The problem was with the first 2 games with Baker, I wasn't seeing progression. I was seeing the same stuff I was seeing from last year. Now I don't have Van Noy from last year in our defense, not the Patriots defense, but in our defense under our play calling. I don't have him from last year, so I can't. Same with the Landon Roberts, right? So I can't put him up against that. But Baker, all I could say was in week 1 and week 2, it was the same problems me and EM were highlighting last year, just leaking over. But kudos to, and again, Flores. I have to give Flores props. Flores, you did not stay stubborn. You waited 2 weeks. You used the first 2 weeks, you and Boyer, used them as preseason. You made the adjustments, just like Chan Gailey did with the offense. Kudos to you, Flores, for not being stubborn, even though we know you really like the player personally. Kudos to you for making the business decision because it was the right call, even though we couldn't stifle James Robinson, who I think is just playing at an elite level right now. I never thought I'd say those words, but I think he is. And that's why I think he gained what he did against us. He was the only playmaker on that Jag. We stifled Gardner Minshew. So kudos to you, Boyer and Flores, for making the proper adjustment in week 3, for taking Baker out of the interior because you were getting gashed either through the pass on crossing routes, right? Because you saw when you watched the Buffalo Bills film, that's what they took from week 1. They didn't take the 217 rushing yards that the Patriots gained. No. What they took was they took the crossing routes that Edelman and Izzo and all these guys were killing us on, and they adapted that to their game plan. And that's what they game plan. So I want to just say kudos to Flores because the middle was nowhere near as vacated as much as it was in the first 2 weeks. You guys made the proper call. You made the proper adjustment. Hopefully, we can keep it rolling. Raekwon Davis looked like he settled in week 3. I'm just giving you guys because I was watching the coach's film earlier today and I watched it a couple of days ago. Raekwon Davis looks like he's settling in and finding his feet. So kudos to, just kudos. You can tell people are starting to settle in this defense. Noah Igbenogany looked a lot better in week 3 than he did in week 2, clearly. So, that defense did, like I said, at times it bent, but it never broke. So I loved the game plan. Guys, I'm probably going to be back on Friday night. We'll be back for the week 3 preview. Tomorrow I will be recording an audio podcast, the first ever of a new show I'm starting with Richmond Webb and also Mr. Ballgame. So you guys, that's going to be able to be heard on Dolphins Brawl. And guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I hope y'all really did like how I highlighted the players, how I gave y'all a nice little breakdown as I ran the film so y'all could see exactly what I was talking about. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Finside. Every donation is always appreciated. And if you'd like to become a Patreon member, guys, patreon.com/Finside, the NFL. I never thought I'd be sitting here on YouTube with 14 Patreons, guys. So much love to all of y'all that hop on board and take advantage of all those different levels we got. I just want to, as usual, every stream, I shout out every Patreon because, it's the least we can do. And it's actually one of the perks. So Infinite Trauma and Rhino, the original OGs, Fake Spike 94, Shake Money. And since he ain't here, Shake, Joe B, KA All Day, Ramon Casillas, Seth, Mr. Two Bits, Miguel Angel Hernandez. We'll go Slim Pickens, Ricketic, Victor Scott Ramos, and our newest, who joined on September 24th, 6 days ago, Red Dino. Appreciate all of you. Love each and every one of you, man. And I love each and every one of you who took the time out. I know I've seeped into about half hour of the Heat game. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get this out a couple days before the Friday video so it has some time to simmer on the net. But, I agree with you. We were playing it's a marathon, not a sprint ball game, 110% right. Yo, Jonathan, you need to tag me in that, bro, because I'm telling y'all, if we stick with Devontae and Preston and we're going wide receiver, Rondell Moore, I mean, I don't know if there's a more, man, if that guy was 6 feet tall, damn, man, that guy would be unbelievably special. But that kid's special. I just his size, man, his size, because you can move Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle outside or into the slot. You could do that with Jamar Chase as well. But I think Rondell Moore's better than all three of those guys as a receiver. It's just his size, man. His size is what kills me. But man, if they're locking down Parker and they got Preston and they're going, with his big boys on the outside, you let Wilson walk. Rondell Moore is that mine. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that was you, Victor. But I'll say now. So big time. Shout out to you for the Patreon. Now I knew your nickname. It doesn't show your nickname, brother, when it shows up. Yeah, Rashad Bateman opted back in today. That's my low key. That's my wide receiver one. I don't know why. I just got a feeling about that kid. But I mean, if you're gonna get off Parker, I mean, that's a move. That's a big body receiver. What's crazy too is as big as Rashad Bateman is, he has played in the slot at Minnesota. He's just, man, that guy, man. I saw that Shake Money, the Carlito Hollins, all those jokes. Yeah, man. Bateman is just, Bateman is special, man. Like you talk about when that ball gets in his hands, man, his acceleration, man, he's special. He is special in open field. I don't know why. He just reminds me of Odell Beckham. If y'all have never heard who he is, he's Rashad Bateman, Rashod Bateman, Bateman. And with that news ball game, you've now confirmed I am going to go through with my video that I'm going to do a video, guys, and it's going to be college-based, and maybe I'll try and get that up in the next couple weeks as well. But yeah, I'll do that for you guys too. I got another top 10 list I can go. It's going to be a little edited because some of the guys are opted out, but I got a college show for you guys coming, and then a college top 10 list for Dolphin fans. And then I'm also going to have another film analysis is going to be coming on probably Solomon Kinley, I think. It's either going to be Solomon Kinley or Austin Jackson. I think I'm going to go with Solomon Kinley just because he's so good. And then, And then, guys, we'll be back Friday night, and we'll be doing it all over again because you already know what time it is. We'll be previewing Week 4 against Seattle. This is one that I ain't afraid of anyone, but whoever made us. Let me put it that way. All right? And if the Seattle Seahawks offense doesn't strike fear in your heart right now, I don't know what will in the NFL. Latrell, I'm a huge Javon Holland fan. You can go back to the other platform when I was on it. I was preaching Javon Holland. There's a lot of safeties. I like Caden Stearns. I like Andre Sisco. I like Nasib Hazelblum. I like who else do I like? I like I like Javon Holland. Yeah, there's a lot of safeties in this draft. It's a pretty good draft for safeties. So, all right, guys. I will be back on Friday, hopefully with the I just want them to compete too, ball game, but I'll talk about that on Friday. And ball game, I will see you tomorrow night, homie. Until then, actually, you know what, ball game? I'm gonna drop the link in the description. If you could, in the comments, if you could just come back for a sec, I wanted to talk to you for a sec. All right, buddy. All right. Other than that, guys, y'all already know what time it is. It's Fins Up. Let me get that there all day, every day. I'll see y'all guys on Friday. Do me the biggest favor because I've never asked this of any of y'all. Share this video as much as y'all can. Share this video, okay, guys? I want, the film analysis videos, I want to get out there more and more and more because it's going to be a really prominent thing on this channel moving forward. Share this video, guys, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media outlet. I've never asked y'all before once in my life to share a video. And the only videos I'm probably going to ever ask y'all to share are these film analysis videos. Give this a share. Hit that like button. Yo, let's get this video in the algorithm so more people can see what we're doing over here. And, guys, Let's get to 1,500 in the next few weeks if we can, all right? Smash that like button. Hit that subscription button if it's your first time here. And until next time, like I said, fins up all day, every day, homie.